Hey friends, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is all about the topic, how does the person on your mind see you now? So in today's reading, we're going to get details and insights into how the person who is currently on your mind feels about you, what qualities and traits about you stand out to them now, and any other important information about their perception of you now. If you would like to explore my podcast or my online shop, please check out the links in my description. But if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the rose quartz card, and we also have a rose quartz crystal. We have pile 2 here with the purple fluorite, and we have a piece of purple fluorite crystal. We also have a yellow citrine card here, and we have a citrine crystal. And then we also have pile 4 here with the Lapis Lazuli card, and then we also have a Lapis Lazuli point here. So you can choose one pile. If you have more than one person in mind, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, you can go to the description of this video and find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, so you can skip ahead to your reading all about how the person on your mind sees you now. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Hey pile 1, so you chose the rose quartz crystal, and this one says Master Heart Healer, and it says I am embodied love. So I definitely think that this person sees you in the energy of love, pile 1. They see you as someone who's very loving, someone who knows how to be emotionally in tune, somebody who has compassion and empathy and inner peace. And you have this very soft and gentle kind of nature that they love. And, even if you do have that fierce energy, I feel like there's this soft, gentle, very feminine side. And I want to, make the disclaimer that no matter what your gender is, we both have feminine and masculine energies within us. So, this can relate to you too if you don't identify as a female. But anyway, let's dive in. Okay, so pile 1. How does the person on your mind currently feel about you? We have the Death card, Justice, and Temperance. So in this part of the reading, we're going to talk about how this person feels about you. Then we're going to move on into what qualities about you or what traits stand out to them now. And then we're also going to get any additional important information about their perception of you. So in terms of how they currently feel about you, with the Death card here, this can talk about transformation and endings. So I don't know if this could be someone who you've had some sort of ending with, or, your dynamic may have shifted. Maybe this is someone who you experienced some sort of ending of a particular phase, or maybe even a total transformation in your dynamic, right? Now, this card also talks about letting go. So I don't know if, there maybe is no contact between you two, or if you feel like they've let you go, or maybe they feel like you've let them go. But there is this feeling of release. This card can also talk about making way for new, letting go of the old in hopes to make new or make room for new. And this card is all about rebirth and renewal. So I don't know, maybe if the person on your mind sees you as someone who's transformed a lot, someone who's changed a lot. Yeah, we also have the Justice card here. So with this one, in terms of how they feel about you, there's this element of fairness and truth with this card. So I don't know if this person is weighing their emotions logically or seeking balance, right? We have the scales here. I don't know if this person is maybe trying to understand the role that they played in, your connection, or maybe they're striving to see the situation clearly. This card can also talk about things like karma and accountability. So I don't know if this person feels a sense of responsibility, or that fairness needs to be restored in some way, or maybe these are feelings that are reflective of you. But if there's been any sort of conflict with this person or any sort of misunderstanding, You know, I don't know if this person wants that issue or that conflict to be made right, or maybe this is something that you feel or that you guys have felt in the past at some point. But yeah, I just feel like there's also like this element of clarity with this card. So either you're seeing the situation with like a more clear lens, or they're seeing the situation with a more clear lens. And I really do think that, like, all in all, this person does appreciate your authenticity, right? And I think that they expect the same in return. Now we also have the Temperance card here, and with the Temperance card, I don't know if, you know, this person is focused on achieving peace and balance, right? Maybe they're working through their emotions to find some more inner harmony, or, you know, maybe they're wanting to create some sort of stable dynamic. This card can also talk about like transmutation. So, you know, maybe they're looking to take the lessons that they've learned from this connection and make sure that they apply it to their future connections, or, you know, whatever it is that they've learned from time or experiences spent with you. This card can also talk about patience too. So I don't know if this person on your mind could be taking, like, I don't know if they're like slow to respond, or they require some patience to like stay in connection with them. I feel like this is just the energy of not rushing, right? It's allowing things to develop naturally. I don't know if this person values things like moderation and compromise in your relationship. But there is also this element of spiritual connection here. So, you know, I do think that whatever you guys have been through in this connection, it has taught them something about either like their own awakening, their own consciousness. Maybe it's taught you about something. So yeah, with all of these three cards together, in terms of like how this person sees you now, I do think that they see you as someone who's undergoing a very deep period of transformation, a very deep period of, you know, reflection. Maybe they're processing some big changes, right? And they're trying to understand the connection from a very fair and balanced perspective. At the same time, they're seeking to heal, right? They're seeking to feel more harmony and approach things with more patience and more care. For those of you who, you know, have a romantic connection with this person, maybe, you know, they see this relationship as one that requires evolution, right? But holds potential for some sort of like long-term peace or fulfillment. And now if this connection is platonic or more professional, I feel like this person probably sees you as a key figure who challenges them to grow, right? And stay accountable while also appreciating your very calm and harmonious presence. So now we're in the part of the reading where we're going to talk about what qualities or traits about you stand out to this person. So we have the wise one here. This one says tradition and order. So I feel like this person sees you as someone who's very wise, someone who's very mature. I think that this person sees you as someone who embodies a very grounded, insightful energy, and you come across as someone who values things like tradition and order, right? And I think that you offer this person like this sense of stability and reliability in their life. I think that this person probably also sees you as someone who's very good at guidance and leadership. So maybe you strike them as like a mentor-like figure or someone they can look up to for advice or direction, right? I just think that this card talks about them recognizing your inner strength and your ability to stay composed in challenging situations. I also feel like the person on your mind sees that you have a connection to values, right? So your ability to stay aligned with your principles and honor your commitments and approach life thoughtfully really makes a strong impression on this person. We also have the red rose. This one says overcoming obstacles, finding joy, and carefree. So with this one here, I feel like the person on your mind admires your ability to maybe like rise above the fray, right? Rise above difficulties with things like grace and determination. And I feel like you're the kind of person that can find beauty and joy even in the face of challenges, right? Which is what this person sees. And this person sees that as something that's super inspiring. It says, don't worry, darling, you'll find your way. So yeah, I do think that this person probably appreciates how optimistic you are. They see you as a guide again, like I mentioned earlier. I do think that They see you as someone who's very playful yet strong. So, you know, maybe for some of you in this pile, you have a very serious side, you know, and a very wise side, but you also have this like carefree, lighthearted nature. And I do feel like the person on your mind is equally drawn to both of those. So I do think that this contrast of qualities makes you someone who's very dynamic and someone who's very well-rounded in this person's eyes. And now I also feel like the person on your mind also sees you as someone who has a lot of magnetism and a lot of passion, because the red rose symbolizes things like attraction and having vitality. So maybe they feel drawn to your energy because it's vibrant, or they see you as someone who brings passion into their world. Okay, so now let's get into any other important information about their perception of you now. So we have Feast of Plenty. This one says choices and their consequences. So with this one, I feel the energy of like abundance and potential. I think that this person on your mind sees you as someone who is surrounded by opportunities and blessings or talents, right? You appear to this person as someone who has a lot to offer, whether this is in life or relationships or personal growth. I also think that this person sees you as someone who is decisive and who has responsibility, right? I think that this person perceives you as someone who knows how to carefully weigh your decisions, and you know how to understand each decision's long-term impact, right? So I do think that this person on your mind really does admire your clarity in either making choices, or they're very intrigued by how you navigate the complexities of life. Because there's this element of like duality here, right? I feel like they can sense that you know how to balance multiple aspects of life. And so I think that this makes you even more fascinating to them. You know what I mean? We also have the desire card here. This one says cause lettuce. We have the sign of Cancer here. So first off, straight up, I think that there's an element of desire in this connection, whether it is, you know, romantic or platonic. There's this element of desire. Again, a lot of magnetism, a lot of passion, right? There's a very strong pull or attraction about you. I think that this person finds you very captivating, very alluring on a deep level. And this could, you know, be physical or emotional or intellectual. I also feel like they see you as someone who has grown, again, someone who's changed a lot, someone who has nurtured themselves into such a beautiful masterpiece. So I don't know if this person sees you as someone who fosters growth or provides comfort, or maybe who is just very emotionally enriching to be around. I just feel like there's something about you, Pile 1, that fulfills something that this person craves in their life. And for those of you who this resonates with, maybe this is a bit of sensual energy too. So I do think that your energy is very vibrant, right? It's very desirable. And I think that you stand out in this person's mind as someone very special. We also have the Scorpio card here. This says investigate. So with this one, I do think that this person on your mind sees you as someone who has a lot of depth, maybe someone who has this intensity about them. You have the sign of Scorpio here, which is very deep and intense and, you know, perhaps even maybe a little mysterious. So I definitely feel like there's more to you than meets the eye. Again, Scorpio, it talks about things like transformation, which is cool because we've been talking about that with death, with temperance too. I think that this person sees you as someone who, you know, even if you feel the fear, you know, through changes, you're someone who feels the fear and like does it anyway, right? You thrive in this transformation. And I just think that this person sees you as someone who's very strong, very resilient, and then again, very magnetic, very mysterious. I think that you have this ability to either captivate this person emotionally or energetically. And I do think that they feel drawn to you, but maybe they're unsure on how to fully understand, or, you know, how to fully navigate your energy. Let's roll some astro dice to get any other information about the person on your mind and how they see you now. So we have Pluto in Gemini in the 11th house. So Pluto and Gemini in the 11th house. So with this one, I feel like the person on your mind sees you as someone who, number one, again, has like this intensity to them. Maybe they see you as someone who is a transformative thinker, right? Maybe they see you as someone who has a very sharp, probing mind, who isn't afraid to dive into taboo subjects or complex subjects. I think that you're someone who challenges conventional ideas, and you know how to spark deep conversations and transform how other people think. I do think that you have this intellectual depth and intensity to you, and this makes you very, very intriguing, right? Maybe even a little bit more mysterious than other people that they come across. I also feel like they see you as someone who is this master communicator who has a very powerful voice. So with Pluto and Gemini, I think that they see you as someone who uses their words like a force of nature, right? I feel like you're very eloquent, you're very persuasive, you're very sharp-witted, and whatever your communication skills look like, I feel like they leave a lasting impression. Now, I also think that they see you as a leader and a visionary in group dynamics, right? So the 11th house talks about groups, friendships, community. So I don't know if they see you as someone who brings change or innovation or transformation to your social circles, but this person sees you as a leader, right? They see you as a catalyst for change and someone who holds very powerful influence over a group. Another thing here too is I feel like they see you as someone who's very multifaceted. Gemini has a very dual nature, and with Pluto's intensity, maybe they see you as someone who has many layers, right? Maybe they don't fully understand you. Again, maybe they feel like you're mysterious a bit. And you know, another thing here is I feel like this person sees you as someone who has very revolutionary ideas, right? So maybe they see you as someone who's very ahead of your time, someone who has ideas that challenge norms and really push boundaries. And with the 11th house here, it rules things like humanitarian efforts, technology, and any sort of ideals that are forward thinking. So I think that it inspires them, depending on how they view change. But yes, thank you so much, Pile 1. I hope that this all resonated. I hope that this makes sense. Please give this video a like if it does. It really does help the channel. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I have a bunch of different pick a card readings for you to explore from a bunch of different topics. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next video. Bye, Pile 1. Okay, so Pile 2. You chose the purple fluorite crystal, and this one says harmonizing healer. So right off the bat, I think that the person on your mind sees you as somebody who's a healer, somebody who's very harmonizing, someone who's easy to get along with. And the affirmation down here says, I am uplifted. So maybe you are someone who has very uplifting energy, or you make people feel better, or you just have a knack for empowering people. Now, what I want to do here in this reading is we are going to first dive into how this person currently feels about you. Then we're going to get more insights on the traits or the characteristics about you that stand out to them. And then we'll also get more information on their perception of you. So let's talk about how this person currently sees you. So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. So with the Three of Pentacles here, I feel like the person on your mind sees you as someone who has a lot of skills and a lot of talent. And I think that they see you as someone who has a very strong work ethic. This is the card that represents things like teamwork and collaboration. So I do think that they feel like you bring something of value, right? Or they feel like you bring something unique to the table in terms of your connection. There's a lot of admiration here. And maybe there's this energy too of like collaboration, like wanting to work with you. I also feel like with the Three of Pentacles here, the person on your mind, they see you as someone where there's mutual respect in your connection. So I really feel like the person on your mind respects and appreciates your contributions. I feel like whether this is in a, like a personal sense or a professional sense, the person on your mind definitely feels this desire to either build or grow something with you. And again, they see a foundation of growth here in your connection, right? I think that they see your connection as something that's solid, and they see it as a partnership that has the potential for further development with mutual effort. I don't know if this person sees you as someone who has a lot going on in their life. Maybe they see you as someone who has a lot of commitments, or you're carrying a lot of responsibilities. I don't know if this person sees you as someone who might be a little overwhelmed in terms of like your circumstances. I don't know if this person sees you as someone who has a lot of external pressures, right? Or responsibilities, like I mentioned earlier. Or maybe this could be reflective of the person on your mind's energy as well. Sometimes the energy acts like a mirror too. So it's very interesting. I feel like they see you as someone who is carrying a lot of weight, right? I feel like they can see that you are putting in a lot of effort, right? You're carrying more than your fair share of the load, right? And maybe they see that you have this desire for like release, right? Or balance. So maybe this person is interested in coming in and working with you so that they can relieve some tension or find like a little bit, or help you find a way to make things more manageable, right? Or maybe this is something that you're doing for them. For example, like maybe some of you out there are a single parent and you have a couple kids, and you know, the person on your mind is somebody that maybe you're dating or maybe you're talking to, right? You're in the talking phases, and maybe they can see that like you have a lot going on, you have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of commitments, and it can be a lot. So maybe they're wanting to come in, team up with you, help you with something. That could just be one example. Yeah, that's just one example. We have the Page of Pentacles here too. So in terms of how this person sees you, they see you as someone, I think that they're actually very curious about you, pile one. They see a lot of potential, right? They see you as someone who's worth investing time and energy into. The Page of Pentacles talks about things like the early stages of learning and growth. So I think that this person feels like there's still so much to discover about you or the relationship or the connection. Maybe their emotions are like more practical and more steady rather than being like overly emotional or, you know, impulsive or anything like that. I do think that they feel very optimistic about the potential of your connection. And I think that they're also, because they value this connection a lot, I do think that they want to approach it carefully and thoughtfully. And I do think that there's this energy of being open to learning with this card. So I don't know if this person is wanting you to know that they're open to learning all about you. Or maybe, you know, this is your energy and you're just like really open and willing to learn something about this person. I just feel like they're probably reflecting on what they can bring to the table or what they can bring to the relationship and how they can grow alongside you. Now we're in the part of the reading where we're going to talk about what qualities or traits or characteristics about you that stand out to them now. So the first card that we have here is the Spy Master, and it says knowledge and distrust. We have the Spy Master here. This one says knowledge and distrust. So, you know what's interesting? I don't know if this person's like trying to find you on social media or like looking at your profile on social media, or like, I don't want to say that they're like watching you, but I do think that they're trying to be observant, right? Because they do care about this connection. And so maybe they're interested in like looking up your interest or like looking up your hobbies or seeing what you like to do, because maybe they're trying to like, I just feel like they're trying to understand you a little bit better. Another thing here is I feel like they see you as someone who's very knowledgeable, someone who's very strategic, someone who's very perceptive. I definitely think that they see you as someone who's highly intelligent, someone who's observant, and someone who probably notices details that other people miss. So maybe you come across as someone who is always one step ahead, you know, and whether this is through your intuition or careful planning. I also think that this person could see you as someone who is guarded and mysterious. So maybe they perceive this sense of like caution or guardedness in you, right? Which intrigues them. This is why I feel like they're like trying to look up your social media. They're like, what's going on with this person? You know what I mean? They're curious about you. They're interested in getting to know you, but they're like, what's going on? You know, I keep getting that energy of like, they're looking you up. So I'm sorry. Like, I think it's funny because like I've had that happened to me before, but for those of you who are like, that's creepy, I don't want people looking me up, you know, do what you need to do. You can, you know, put your profile in private or something if you feel like that's strange, right? But yeah, I definitely think that in terms of them seeing you as someone who's very guarded and very mysterious, I think that there's something about you that maybe you don't reveal everything about yourself right away, and I think that this is what makes people curious to know more about you. I also feel like people think that you are trustworthy yet discerning, right? So I do think that they see you as a source of wisdom, a source of insight, but I also think that they feel like you are selective about who you trust. And I think that this is something that adds this air of mystery and a bit of exclusivity, right, to your personality or to being in connection with you. And I don't think that this is something you do on purpose. I wonder if some of you have Scorpio placements here, or that's just kind of the energy surrounding their perception of you. Now we also have emotions. This one says alchemy, processing, and sensitivity. And then it says honoring the flow of all of the emotions. Interesting. Honoring the flow of all the emotions. I definitely think that this person sees you as someone who is very intuitive. I keep hearing like indigo child too. I don't know if that resonates with some of you here. The person on your mind sees you as someone who is very emotionally intelligent. They admire your ability to process and transform your emotions, you know, whether this is your own or other people's. So I do think that this person sees you as someone who's very empathetic, somebody who's very deeply attuned to the emotional undercurrents in any situation. I do think that with alchemy here, you have very transformative energy. They see you as someone who knows how to use life's challenges to grow and to evolve and to create something meaningful, right? So they probably see you as someone who has the power to turn pain into strength, right? Or has the power to turn setbacks into opportunities. There is that intuitive, right, depth to you. You have that deep sensitivity. And I want to make it clear here, the word sensitive is not something negative, because I remember I was talking to someone in the space and I asked them if they considered themselves to be sensitive, and what I meant is like energetically sensitive. Are you energetically perceptive? Are you energetically in tune? Can you pick up on the emotions of yourself and other people easily, right? Can you read between the lines? Can you pick up on the things that aren't being said? That's what I meant by sensitivity. And I think that this person was just like, oh my God, no, I'm not sensitive. And I don't know if it's because the term sensitive is something that we're conditioned to learn that was bad, right? Like hearing the term, you're too sensitive, stop crying, you're too sensitive. So I just want to make it clear, it's one of my main missions on this channel, especially for intuitives, especially for highly sensitives, you know, empaths, people who have psychic abilities, people who are introverts, of course my extroverts too. But you know, this message is for my deeply attuned, and I just want to let you know that your sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a source of strength. It's a source of wisdom. It's a special talent that many people haven't tapped into yet. And so I do think that this person really does recognize and honor your ability to connect with people on this very profound emotional level. Yeah, they see you as someone who has that combination of like intellect and emotion, right? You're strategic yet empathetic. Maybe you're guarded, but yet you're deeply connected. I think that you're very powerful and transformative too. It's interesting. I feel like this person feels either like simultaneously inspired and maybe even challenged about you, right? Like your sharp intellect, the spy master, and the emotional sensitivity with the emotions. Maybe this encourages them to take a step up and engage with you on a deeper level. So if this connection is romantic, maybe this person feels drawn to your complexity. Maybe they see you as someone who can offer them both this emotional depth and this intellectual stimulation. And for those of you who this person on your mind, it's a platonic relationship or it's a professional relationship, I do think that this person values your insights. They value your emotional awareness. And I keep hearing like this is not something that everybody has in the company, so you're highly valued. And I also think that maybe people could feel a bit intimidated or like unsure on how to fully connect with you because of that air of mystery. So yeah. Okay, let's get into the part of the reading where we talk about any other important information about their perception of you now. So we have Root Girl. This one says the disowned self. There's a lot of healing with this card. So I don't know if this person sees you as someone who's on the path of healing or like on the path of self-acceptance. Maybe you come across as someone who is kind of like reconnecting with parts of yourself, maybe parts of yourself that you once ignored or maybe that you undervalued, especially that we're talking about like sensitivity, intuition, emotions. Oh, and I forgot to mention that your emotions and your feelings are one of the strongest intuitive indicators, right? So Your emotions are trying to communicate messages to you. I had to learn this a little bit later on in life. I thought my emotions were a burden before, and now I'm like, oh, they're giving me messages. My anger is telling me something. My sadness is telling me something, right? But back to the root girl here, I feel like they see you as someone who isn't afraid to be vulnerable, right? And I think this is what gives you such depth. They see you as someone with maybe like a layered and complex inner world. They see you as someone who's had to work through challenges or past wounds. And I do think that they see this depth in you, and they admire your courage in facing these different aspects of yourself. I feel like they're very, very inspired by you, Pile 2. I feel like they can tell that you're in the process of becoming more and more whole. You know what I mean? So I think that this inspires them to either like start or reflect on their own growth. And then we also have the Tranquility card here. This one says Violet. We have the sign of Pisces here. So I do think that this person sees you as a calming presence. They see you as someone who brings a sense of peace and calm into their life. I think that you have this beautiful ability to remain grounded and have this serene energy about you, even in the most challenging situations. You have a lot of wisdom about you. You have this spiritual connection, right? The violet color symbolizes things like intuition, wisdom, and having this connection to the higher realms. I also love that you chose purple fluorite too. I feel like everything is connecting here. But I think that the person on your mind sees you as someone with a spiritual or a reflective nature. I think that they see you as someone who offers insights that really resonate with them on a deep level. I also think that you just have healing energy in general too. I think that your presence, you just being around them, it feels very soothing to them. I feel like you actually just like existing, it offers people a space for healing and for relaxation, a place where they can just come home to themselves, right? We also have the progressions card. This one says Journey. So I do think that they see you as someone who's very dynamic, someone who's always evolving, right? Someone who's not stagnant, but working towards things like self-improvement or future goals. If you are someone who's actually into things like self-development, personal growth, spirituality, I do have a podcast called the That's Deep Podcast. I have it linked for you in the description if you feel called. I teach you how to use a bunch of different self-help tools to leverage your growth in your career, your finances, and in your relationships. So check it out if you feel called. Link is in the description. But yeah, with this card, I definitely feel like you probably come across as reflective. You come across as someone who knows how to learn from past experiences, and you're someone who comes across as someone who's striving to become a better version of yourself. You have a very inspirational presence, right? Your journey definitely inspires them, like I mentioned before. They see you navigating challenges with grace and determination. So I do think that they admire your ability to adapt to life's ups and downs, right? I think that this resonates with their own experiences too. I think you have a lot of like shared, I don't know if it's like, I don't want to say like shared experiences, but like experiences that were similar or that they can relate to. I feel like they also see you as someone who's very connected to your purpose as well. Okay, so the next thing I want to do here is I want to roll some astro dice and get more information on how this person sees you now. So we do have Pisces here. So with Uranus and Pisces in the 10th house, I feel like the person on your mind sees you as someone who's very unique, someone who's a visionary, and maybe somebody who has like this element of unpredictability, right? That air of mystery. And this directly relates to your career or like your public persona too, because we have the 10th house here. Maybe some of you here have like an unconventional career path, or maybe that's something that resonates with you, right? Maybe this person on your mind sees you as someone who doesn't follow the traditional path in terms of your career or your public life. Maybe they see your choices and approach to success and they see it as something that's a little bit more innovative or a little bit more avant-garde to them. I think that they see you as someone who definitely embraces individuality and someone who doesn't conform to societal norms just 'cause, right? I do think that they see you as someone who is a visionary, someone who's very idealistic, when we have Pisces here, I think that they might perceive you as someone who is deeply inspired by your dreams and your creativity and your intuition and a desire to make a very meaningful impact, right? So I don't know if they see you as someone who, again, blends logic with intuition, right? And someone who knows how to pursue goals that align with some sort of higher purpose. Again, I think that this confirms that people might see you as someone who's a bit mysterious, right? A bit of like unpredictability, right? Because we have that Uranus and that Pisces there. I don't know if this person just feels like you're difficult to pin down, or that you often surprise them with like your thoughts or your actions or your ambitions, but I definitely think that they feel like you make them curious, right? Or they're thinking about like, well, what will they do next, right? I feel like it's like, whoa, wait, they're getting married, or like, whoa, like they just had a kid, or whoa, they just graduated and got their master's. Like, it's those things. Like, I just think like you are constantly, I keep hearing the word astonished. I think that that's the way that you make them feel. And another thing here, I do think that they do see you as like an agent of change in some sort of like public arena of life, whether this is your field of work or your community or your personal relationships. I definitely think that they see you as someone who challenges the status quo and someone who pushes boundaries to create something better. So yeah, you're a bit of an enigma to them. You're very mysterious, very desirable. They're curious about you, pile 2. So yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. I hope that this video was fun. I hope it resonated with you. Thank you so much. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to all of you who come back and watch all of these readings, as well as all of my new viewers here. I really, really appreciate you. I can't thank you enough. I love connecting with you all and doing these readings. So yes, check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I have a bunch of pick a card readings for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next video. Bye, pile 2. Okay, so pile 3, let's get into it. You have the yellow citrine card. This one says energy crystal. And then it says, I have unlimited energy. So I do think that you have a very vibrant energy, pile 3. I think that the person on your mind really does see you as someone who gives them life force, gives them life energy, is very uplifting to be around. And let's read some of the emotional qualities here too. It says provides relief from shame, timidity, feelings of helplessness and depression, increases creativity, imagination, optimism, self-expression, and joy, brings self-empowerment, trust in oneself, and offers the power to follow one's path in life. And this one says, I have unlimited energy. So yes, let's dive into the rest of your reading, pile 3. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about how the person on your mind currently feels about you. Then we're going to talk about what traits or characteristics about you stand out to them now. And then we're also going to dive into any additional insights that you might need to know about their perception of you. So let's start. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Swords. So with the Queen of Pentacles here, I feel like you have this very warm and nurturing energy about you. The person on your mind probably feels like you have this very comforting and nurturing presence. I feel like when you're around them, you make them feel cared for, you make them feel supported. You know, whether this is on an emotional level or a material level, I just feel like you're somebody who knows how to bring a sense of home or stability to this person's life. Now, I also feel like there is this energy of having this admiration for your practicality. I think that this person really does appreciate your grounded nature, right? They see you as someone who has their life together or is working toward building a very secure and abundant future. And I feel like this might inspire feelings of either respect or admiration. I do think that there's a lot of value and worth in this card. So I do think that the person on your mind probably feels like you hold significant value in their life, whether this is as a friend or a partner or, you know, someone that they want to get to know better. I just feel like your energy might make them feel a little bit more enriched or balanced in some way. Now, we also have the energy of dependability with the Queen of Pentacles. She's reliable. So I feel like this person definitely thinks that you're somebody that they can count on. I do think that they trust you and you give off this sense of like security in your relationships and your interactions. So I think I keep hearing like it's very divine to be in connection with you. I also feel like whoever this person is, like they either are very honored to be in your life, or if this is someone that's not in your life, they would be honored to be in your life. Now, I do think that your nurturing qualities probably inspires this person to like reciprocate in some way. So maybe they have this desire to provide for you, right? Or to protect you, or to contribute to your happiness or your stability or your security. For those of you who have a romantic relationship with a person in mind, maybe they feel drawn to your stability and your warmth, and they see you as someone who very much embodies the qualities that they admire in a partner. For those of you who have the person in mind and it is a more platonic or professional relationship, I do feel like this person really does appreciate your dependability or your ability to create some sort of sense of comfort for them. We also have the Three of Cups here. So I think that there's definitely this element of like community and friendship and celebration. There's definitely something to cheers towards. So maybe this is somebody who very much sees you as a really good friend. And even if this is a romantic connection, I think that, friendship being at the basis of your relationship is such a beautiful thing, because not only do you have like a romantic partner, but you have somebody that you have a deeper, more intimate connection, right? And like it's not, well, I like to say that like with intimacy, it's not only about sex. It's about the feeling of closeness and being connected and understanding each other on a deeper level, right? So I do think that you feel like almost like a soul family. Like you feel like a member of their soul family. You feel fun. You feel like, I don't know, maybe for some of you here, the person on your mind is like someone you go out and have fun with, or somebody you get together with or party with, or you have some sort of like community gathering with, right? Like, I don't know, these cups made me think of like sound bowls, like singing bowls. So maybe some of you here are spiritually connected with this person too. But I do think that there is this fun element of friendship and enjoyment and celebration here. So with the Two of Swords here, this can represent conflicted feelings. So I don't know if the person on your mind feels torn between two emotions or two perspectives. Maybe there's some sort of like, uncertainty within them, or some sort of external factor that is, influencing the way that they're communicating with you, right? I don't know if you feel like this is a connection where there's this element of like avoidance or maybe a bit of hesitation, right? I don't know if it's like the other person in mind or you that feels maybe like you want to avoid making a decision or taking action in this relationship because you're not sure of like the best course to take, and this doesn't necessarily mean that like you lack feelings, but it just really talks more about like wrestling with clarity and uncertainty, right? Like maybe the waters feel a bit choppy for them. Maybe there's a lot going on in their life, or maybe this is reflective of your energy. But I do feel like whoever this is, it's like this need to seek balance, right? It's this need to like weigh their options or take time to find balance in the way that they feel, right? So I do think that this person very much values you, but maybe they don't know how to move forward. You know what I mean? There's this element of like emotional guardedness with this, right? Maybe some sort of like emotional self-protection. Like, for example, like maybe somebody has feelings for somebody else, but they're hesitant to express them openly, right? Maybe they don't want to go through feeling vulnerable, or they don't want to get rejected, or they don't, they're too scared to find out what the potential consequences might be, because maybe it's not going to be good, right? Or at least that's like their fear talking, because maybe it is good, right? Maybe this is someone that like you're open to. But yeah, I think there's this element of like needing time to see how things unfold, right? Maybe needing more time to process feelings, or to understand emotions clearly, or to decide between two decisions. I don't know if this person's not yet ready to like make a choice or reveal their deeper thoughts. Now I want to talk about what qualities or traits stand out to this person about you. So we do have the Dancer. This one says self-expression and strength. I don't know if you feel like this person like dances around things. Like if you try to like pin them down, if they kind of dance around the subject, or they're like, can't really give you like a specific time or date to like meet up. I don't know if that's just for a specific some of you. I definitely think that like in terms of the qualities or traits that stand out to this person about you, I think that they see you as someone who's very graceful, right? They see you as someone who knows how to move through life with elegance. And I think that they're really drawn to the way that you carry yourself, right? And how you handle challenges. I just feel like you exude this very natural flow that captures this person's attention. Maybe this person sees you as someone who is expressive and authentic. Maybe they notice your ability to express yourself in a very real, raw way, right? Whether this is through words or creativity or your body language. I just feel like you have this very magnetic quality that draws this person in because you're very sincere. I also feel like this person sees you as someone who's very charismatic, somebody who's very enthralling, very much like a dancer who captivates an audience. I feel like you stand out to them. You're somebody that's very vibrant. You're somebody that's very captivating. And I feel like your energy or presence feels very enchanting, right? Or it leaves some sort of lasting impression. I also feel like this person sees you as someone who is in sync with life's rhythm, right? Like with your journey. I think that this person sees you as somebody who knows how to embrace both highs and lows as a part of like life's dance, you know? You're just very, very intriguing and inspiring to this person. We also have the sun, and this one says, be patient, it will come. Manifestation, power, and 1111. You know what's funny? I actually just saw 1111 before I started this reading. So I think that's a pretty cool synchronicity. I don't know if some of you here have seen angel numbers or repeating numbers yourself, but if you feel called to share which ones you see, please drop them in the comments. Lately, I've been seeing 444, 1111, 888, 555. Yeah, let me know what you've been seeing. But in terms of this card, I think that the traits that stand out to them about you is that you're very radiant, right? And you're very positive. They see you as a source of warmth, right? As a source of positivity, as a source of energy. They see you as someone who uplifts the energy around you, like we mentioned earlier with the yellow citrine card. I feel like your presence feels very inspiring. It feels very healing to them, very much like the sun itself. I think that you come across as someone who is very deeply aligned with your purpose and someone who's actively creating the life that you desire, right? So I don't know if this makes them see you as someone who's focused or determined or someone who's very capable of achieving your goals. I think that they notice your inner strength and your confidence. Again, I think that there is this authenticity about you. There's this clarity, there's this honesty, there's this truth, right? This sun represents illumination, right? So I think that you're someone who's trustworthy and again, someone who's very authentic in their eyes. Now, I don't know. Now, if I think that they see you as someone who has a connection to the divine, right? So maybe they might sense that like you're connected to some sort of higher purpose or, you know, spirituality or something like that, your higher self, right? Maybe they see you as someone who is very much in tune with like your sense of destiny, right? And I also think that they see this like sense of childlike wonder and joy in you, right? This playfulness. I think that they appreciate your ability to bring lightness and fun into moments and really creating this sense of like happiness and connection. Okay, so let's talk about any other important information about their perception of you now. So we have the joyful muse. This one says inspiration. So with this one, they definitely, again, see you as a source of inspiration. Maybe you're somebody who motivates them to think differently or pursue their passions. I do think that your presence definitely will ignite this sense of possibility or creativity within them. I think that you encourage them to dream bigger, right? Again, you have this very playful and uplifting energy. Your energy is vibrant, it's light, it's very joyful. I think that this person can see you as someone who knows how to have fun and laugh, and you're just very refreshing in terms of, you know, people in their life. Again, you're very magnetic. We also have clarity. This one says carrot. And then we have Virgo here, Virgo energy. We have an eye here. I always like see this as intuition. So maybe this person sees you as someone who's very intuitive. But again, with clarity, it's like they see you as someone who has a very clear sense of direction or purpose, right? They see you as someone who has very profound insights and understanding. Maybe they see you as someone who, again, is very grounded, very practical, right? Very authentic, very transparent. We also have Leo here. This one says shine. So I think that they see you as someone who has a commanding presence. They see you as someone who naturally draws attention. I feel like your energy is bold, it's vibrant, very much regal, and I think that you stand out in a crowd. So, you know, this person sees you as someone who exudes confidence, even if it's subtle, right? They see you as someone who is creative and expressive. They see you as someone who knows how to express yourself authentically. Whether this is through your words or your action or your style, I just feel like this person sees you as someone who's very unique and very memorable. I also think that there's this warmth and this generosity that they notice about you, right? Leo has very heart-centered energy, and I do think that they see you as someone who very much cares deeply and loves fiercely, right? So it's very impressive to them. They see you as someone who's very courageous, someone who's very passionate, again, someone who's very, very magnetic, right? When they're around you, I feel like it makes them feel like you're very larger than life, right? Like it's very magnetic. And even when you're not actively trying to shine, I just feel like you have a way of leaving this very beautiful, lasting impression. And I think that you're somebody who they think about often. So yes, let's dive into our Astro Dice. Let's get some more information on how this person sees you now. Okay, so we have Sagittarius. Excuse me. We have Mars in Sagittarius in the 12th house. Okay, so with Mars in Sagittarius in the 12th house, I feel like this person sees you as someone who is passionate yet mysterious, right? So they see you as someone who is, again, driven by higher ideals or maybe even spiritual pursuits, but maybe there's a part of you that appears elusive or hard to understand, right? And now actually this Two of Swords is coming into play again. I think it's like there's something unknown, right? It's like there's something mysterious about you. I think that you have this very adventurous spirit, right? You have a very strong will. But I feel like you still know how to channel your energy in very subtle, introspective, or behind the scene ways, which really does intrigue them. And that's that 12th house energy right there. So yeah, I do think that this person admires your hidden strength and your sense of purpose. And even if they can't fully grasp your inner world, they're honored to be in connection or to know you or to even think about you. So yes, thank you so much, Pile 3. I hope that this reading was fun. I hope that this resonates with you. Please give this video a like if it does. It really does help the channel. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to thank all of you for watching these readings and taking the time out of your day to tune into this. I just appreciate you to the moon and back. So yeah, take care of yourself. I hope to see you on the next video after this. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I have a bunch of pick a card readings for you to explore from a bunch of different topics. But if not this time, I'll see you back on the next video. Bye, Pile 3. Okay, so Pile 4. You chose the Lapis Lazuli crystal, and this one says psychic intuition, and then it says mystical wisdom deepens my healing. So right off the bat, I feel like the person on your mind sees you as someone who's very intuitive, someone who's very deep, someone who's very wise, someone who's very psychic, someone who can read between the lines, right? Somebody who has a very strong third eye, somebody who can see what is not being said, right? You're very in tune with feelings and emotions and energy. So let's dive in. What we're going to do is we're going to first talk about how the person sees you now, and then we're going to talk about the traits or the characteristics or the qualities about you that stand out to them, and then we're going to get any additional insights into their perception of you. I don't know if this is a connection that feels a bit challenging to you, or it has felt challenging in the past, or I don't know if this person or maybe you are facing some sort of challenge or competition when it comes to this connection. I don't know if somebody in this connection here, whether it be them or you, I don't know if somebody feels the need to either defend their position or their feelings, right? I don't know if there's this element of like standing your ground. So the Seven of Wands, it can talk about perseverance and standing firm, right? So maybe they feel strongly about their connection with you and they're determined to protect it or to hold on to their beliefs, right? That's just one example. Maybe there's a sense of needing to fight for something, right? I don't know if this person feels a bit defensive or guarded. Maybe they feel a bit on edge. I don't know if there's like concerns or hesitations that are causing them to put up some emotional barriers. Maybe they're being like protective due to past experiences that they've been through or uncertainty about where things are headed. But on a positive note, they are definitely working hard to overcome these obstacles and challenges. And I feel like they might even view their relationship with you as something that is worth fighting for, right? Even if it's not easy. I don't know if there's an element of conflict with this, right? Either internal or external. Again, maybe they feel like they're in this position of defending themselves or their choices or their approach towards you, or, you know, it could be vice versa. The Seven of Wands can also talk about things like this underlying feeling of pressure, right? Like, I don't know if somebody feels like they need to prove something or to justify their feelings or their actions towards the other person. I don't know if maybe there's a desire to maintain control over the situation or to make sure that, you know, your perspective is heard. We also have the Judgment card here. So with the Judgment card, there is this feeling of awakening or realization. So maybe this person or maybe you are experiencing some sort of aha moment or like a shift in this perspective about you, right? So maybe they're seeing you in a new light, or they're recognizing something significant about your relationship or the connection that you share. I feel like this might feel like a wake-up call, right? Maybe they understand or realize something that they hadn't before. I do feel like this card always holds the energy of reflection on the past, right? It involves revisiting the past with a fresh understanding. So maybe this person is reflecting on their past experiences with you, or maybe they're reevaluating past interactions, right? Decisions, feelings, maybe they're playing things over in their head. Maybe they're reflecting on how far they've come or what your connection has meant to them. There's definitely this sense of like responsibility or accountability here. So maybe there's this feeling of some sort of responsibility or like a call to action, right? So maybe they feel this urge to make things right between you two, or maybe this is reflective of your feelings, right? Particularly if there's been any like conflict or misunderstanding or any sort of unresolved issues between you two. I don't know, somebody in this connection feels the need to step up or to make amends or to make some sort of significant decision regarding your relationship. But I do think that there is this desire for transformation, right? Maybe there is somebody in this connection that feels like there's this potential for whatever you've learned in this connection to be transformative for the both of you, right? So maybe they see you as someone who is capable of bringing about positive change in their life. Maybe they see you as someone who sees that your connection can evolve in a powerful way over time, right? With the Judgment card here, it can also talk about like a sense of destiny or feeling like there's a deeper spiritual connection at play. So maybe they feel like your connection is significant in this way that goes beyond the material world, or that it's somehow fated or meant to be. There is also the energy of like evaluating a decision, right? So I don't know if somebody here is like at a crossroads, right, about how they feel about the other person, or maybe they're considering whether or not to make a big decision related to your relationship. I don't know if some of you here are, you know, you're wanting reconciliation, or you want to deepen the connection or potentially let it go. But depending on how you feel, depending on how they feel, there's like this element of like a decision here. Now we also have the Four of Cups. So with the Four of Cups, sometimes this can talk about taking time to reflect, right? So maybe they could be in this reflective or contemplative state, right? Maybe they're considering their emotions or their relationship as a whole. The Four of Cups can talk about someone who is a bit withdrawn, right? Maybe they're temporarily taking a pause to assess things from a distance, or maybe they feel like something feels off, but they're not sure what it is exactly. Sometimes the Four of Cups can also talk about feelings of apathy, right? Or feeling over it, right? That she has like a shirt that says over it. I don't know if somebody in this connection feels emotionally indifferent towards the other person. right? And this doesn't necessarily mean like a lack of affection, but maybe more of a sense of like emotional disengagement or feeling disconnected from the relationship or the connection. And that might just be resonating with a specific some of you. But yeah, I don't know if somebody in this connection feels overwhelmed or dissatisfied in some way. Maybe they're focusing on what they don't have or what they feel like is missing in their emotional life, right? Maybe there's this dissatisfaction with the current state of things between the two of you, right? Especially if this is like a no contact, like you don't speak to this person anymore, right? Or maybe they feel overwhelmed by their own emotional world and it makes them feel less focused, right, on your connection. I don't know if there's this element of maybe somebody in this connection not fully appreciating like what somebody else is offering, right? Or feeling distracted by other possibilities, even, right? Even if they haven't even explored them. But for those of you who are in a situation where you feel like you're not being valued, or the other person is like trying to sort through other options and then they feel like they can get back to you, this is a reminder to stand in your worth, right? Know how valuable you are. You don't need to wait on somebody else to decide whether or not they want to be with you or to give you the time of day. You deserve the most divine connection, especially if this is a romantic connection, but I'm talking about friendship, platonic, family. If somebody is not actively choosing you, know when it's okay to step aside, step away, and know that something better is coming your way, right? And I'm not trying to influence any one or like the other decision. I'm not saying like, ditch them, but I'm not saying to like stick around. I'm just saying understand your worth and know that you deserve to feel like you're chosen right away, just like that, right? Okay, so let's dive into the part of the reading that talks about what qualities or traits about you stand out to them now. So the first card that we have here is the Fate. This one says accepting help, guidance. They see you as someone who knows how to ask for help, right? Or how to accept help when they need it, right? And this doesn't diminish your strength in their eyes, but it highlights your ability to recognize when you need guidance, showing wisdom and a lot of humility on your part. I think that they see you as someone who is receptive and open-minded, right? I feel like you have this element of openness to new ideas or perspectives that really do stand out to them, and you seem like someone who's very receptive to guidance, whether this is from people or spiritual sources. I feel like you can show that you don't have to control everything and you can work with what's being offered, right? I also feel like they see you as someone who has self-awareness, right? They see you as someone who reflects on your life decisions, and I think that they see you as someone who's very wise and insightful. I also think that they see you as someone who's very humble, somebody who's very balanced. I think that they're just very inspired by you. We also have the Forbidden Forest. This one says bravery, persistence, and redemption. So I do think that they see you as someone who's brave, right? They see you as someone who is not afraid to confront difficult things or uncomfortable situations, right? They admire your ability to take risks and face obstacles head on without backing down. I do think that your fearlessness really does inspire them, and it makes them respect your strength. They see you as someone who's very persistent, somebody who's very resilient. I think that what stands out to them too is your inner strength and your character, right? Maybe you have this inner fortitude or this very strong character about you that shows a lot of vulnerability and strength. And for those of you who have been like open and honest about maybe your feelings and you feel like that person hasn't done the same, I just feel like they really do admire your vulnerability and your strength in this area. Yeah, okay, let's dive into any other important information about their perception of you now. So we have mindful. This one says groupthink. So I do think that they see you as someone who is an independent thinker, right? They see you as someone who stands apart from the group norms or collective opinions. They see you as someone who doesn't simply go along with the crowd. You think for yourself, right? Maybe you question or challenge the status quo. And I do think that this quality might make you seem unique or refreshing to them. I do think that they see you as somebody who is intellectually engaged, right? They see you as someone who is very deeply thoughtful and maybe even contemplative. I think that they see you as someone who maybe even challenges conformity, somebody who's socially aware is what I'm feeling. We also have the Strength card here. This one says Fennel, and we have the sign of Virgo. And so with this card, I feel like in terms of the way that this person perceives you, I do think that they see you as somebody who has this quiet but unshakable strength. So maybe they perceive you as having a calm and quiet power, right? Maybe they see you as somebody who has a strength that doesn't need to be loudly proclaimed, but maybe it's something that's deeply rooted and unshakable, right? Maybe this is the kind of strength that is more about, you know, enduring hardships gracefully rather than reacting with force. And I think that this is what makes you seem steady and very reliable in their eyes. I also feel like this person sees you as someone who's very compassionate, somebody who's empathetic, because fennel symbolizes things like nurturing and care. They might see you as someone who's very deeply empathetic. Maybe you're somebody who is always ready to offer support and understanding to those around you. I feel like your ability to help and heal others, whether this is on an emotional level or a physical level, really does stand out to this person as a very admirable quality. I also feel like this person sees you as someone who has self-control, right? Because the strength of fennel often involves discipline and self-control. So I do think that they admire your ability to maintain control over your actions and your thoughts and your emotions. I feel like this could make you appear very balanced, very thoughtful, maybe grounded in situations that may otherwise be stressful or challenging. I also feel like they see you as someone who's like mastered the art of inner peace, right? You know how to stay calm under pressure. You know how to maintain your composure no matter what the external circumstances. And you do have the courage to face inner truths, right? So I do think that they see you as someone who doesn't shy away from having like difficult self-reflection, right? Or confronting areas of your life that require growth. So I do think that they see you as someone who is emotionally mature and self-aware. We also have the 6th house here, and this one says sustainability. So maybe they see you as somebody who prioritizes your physical or your mental or your emotional health. I don't know if some of you here are focused on exercise or mindfulness or really making thoughtful lifestyle choices. And I think that they admire your commitment to maintaining a balanced and sustainable lifestyle. I also think that they see you as somebody who is practical, somebody who is detail oriented. The 6th house talks about the practical aspects of life, such as work and daily routines. So I do think that they see you as somebody who is organized, somebody who's diligent, and somebody who is responsible in, you know, like managing your daily tasks. You know, you can stay on top of things, you know how to manage your responsibilities, and I think that you can keep this very structured approach to life, and this is something that they can appreciate. I also feel like with the 6th house, this is connected to service and helping others. So maybe they perceive you as somebody who enjoys giving back, whether this is through your work or through acts of kindness or support for those around you. Your willingness to help others and create positive change in the world could definitely stand out to them. Hang on, my dog Milo wants to come into the office. One second. I forgot to mention that like in my readings, I always had both of my dogs with me in all of my readings. I had my dog Lola and I had my dog Milo. So they're always present for like all of the readings here on my channel. My dog Lola unfortunately passed away not too long ago, and so we always honor her here, but we have Milo in the office with us today. And so yeah, so if you guys are pet lovers, just know that you always got fun Milo energy in the room at all times. Okay, and Lola energy too, you know, for those of you who believe in, you know, passed on loved ones on the other side. Okay, so back to the 6th house. I do think that they see you as someone who's also dedicated to your long-term goals. They see you as someone who knows how to work steadily toward a long-term goal, and I do think that they admire your ability to keep consistent and steady progress, even if the results aren't immediately visible, right? Like that sense of dedication to the future is something that they definitely value about you. And something about like self-care or maintenance, like I don't know, I think you just know how to take care of yourself, and that's very, very attractive to this person. And I think that they also feel like you're a very thoughtful and responsible person, right? Because the 6th house talks about responsibility. It talks about mindful decision making, particularly in everyday matters. So maybe they see you as somebody who approaches life with a sense of responsibility, whether this is in work or relationships or commitments. I just feel like your reliability and your thoughtfulness definitely stands out to them as qualities that they appreciate. So yes, let's dive into some astro dice and get more information on how the person on your mind sees you now. Okay, So we have Pluto in Aries in the 5th house. So with Pluto and Aries in the 5th house, I feel like the person on your mind sees you as somebody who is intense and maybe dynamic and very transformative in terms of your creativity and your passion and your self-expression. I think they see you as somebody who's bold, somebody who's fearless. I think that they see you as somebody who knows how to go after what they love, and you have this very magnetic energy that's very captivating to others. I think that your ability to like embrace change and reinvent yourself in, you know, like in 5th house things like joy and romance and creative ventures, it really stands out to them. And it really does, I don't know, you just stand out. So thank you so much, Pile 4. Please give this video a like if it resonates. It really does help the channel. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the reading. I really appreciate your time. Take care of yourself. I do hope to see you on the next video after this. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I have a playlist with a bunch of pick a card readings on my channel for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you on the next video. Bye, Pile 4.